Hello everyone, my name is Danny. This review is for the movie called The Souvenir. In this lush, dreamlike story of young adulthood and first love, a shy but ambitious film student begins to find her voice as an artist while navigating a turbulent courtship with a charismatic but untrustworthy man. She defies her protective mother and concerned friends as she slips deeper and deeper into an intense, emotionally fraught relationship that comes dangerously close to destroying her dreams. This is a 2019 film. It is rated R and it runs 2 hours. It stars Honor Swinton Byrne and Tom Burke and Tilda Swinton, whoever those people are. The Souvenir. I'm just going to be perfectly honest. I don't do reviews like this very often, but there's only things in this movie that are wrong or could have been better. We'll start off with the first thing. It's rated R for some sexuality, graphic nudity, and drug material and language. Okay. So, sexuality, PG-13 movies have that. That's no reason to be rated R. Graphic nudity. There's one scene of nudity. Total nudity. Like truly graphic, pure nudity. There's a couple scenes of sexuality suggesting what might be happening and what might be going on, but there's no nudity. It's underwhelming. Their promise of graphic nudity. So that's one thing, is it's false promises of all this terrible stuff to make it rated R. I can't remember much language. It's just so much talking. Like, I can't remember if they honestly swore at all. I can't remember. So I don't think that needed to even be there. So that's kind of the measuring stick of this movie. My biggest problem forever and always will be about movies like this. There's a bunch of them. I don't need to list all of them, but this is a good example of a movie where a female will be in the worst relationship possible with the worst guy possible and won't do anything to get out of it. It's unbelievably dramatic and stupid to me. I just don't understand how it happens in real life. That's why people make movies about it, because there's so many examples in real life of girls who just don't need to be with that one terrible guy, whether he's on drugs or he's a loser and won't have a job, or he needs money all the time, or he does this, or he doesn't get along with his family, or there's so many of us good guys out here that want to be with you and you're with the worst guy possible. I just don't understand it. I never will. And now I have to watch a whole 2-hour movie about it. It was torture. Because it's just every girl that I cross paths with on a daily basis, most of them, it's just ridiculous to make a movie about this, that I have to watch it and, endure this. And her worst thing, and this is critiquing the movie now, I'm sorry to get off my personal footstool here, but the movie, she actually goes to anonymous class, and he's not going with her, but she goes to an anonymous class and she listens to them. We're forced to hear somebody give their testimony, and it obviously makes no crack in her brain, so why show it? I don't understand. And then she gives him money and she makes this big speech about she knows that there's things about him that she doesn't need to know. And when she said that, man, this movie lost me. It was like maybe half an hour in. When she said that, I knew the rest of the movie was going to be about her being submissive, loving him even though she shouldn't, doing things that he wants her to do, witnessing him going through relapse and all this other stuff, I knew it was going to involve all this stuff. When she said that, that she knew that he had to keep secrets from her and that she wasn't worthy to know stuff about him, like they are able to keep their own secrets. I'm like, oh man, this movie's going to be torturous. And it was, and it did include all that stuff. And I'd say one bright spot, but I don't even want to call it that, is the guy in here. He plays a person on drugs very well. He has the shakes. He goes through this whole, thing a couple of times when he's craving and his body just compulses. And that'd be the only bright spot I can offer you about this movie. It really has terrible transitions. It doesn't have much of a consistent story. It likes to go back and forth between the timelines, and it's confusing. You never know who's who and which guy she's talking to because they all look the same. And that she's talking to her mother, but her mother doesn't really do anything about the whole thing until it's time. And you don't know if anybody really cares about her, or if he's really in the relationship, or if he's just with it for the money or what. I mean, there's a lot of questions to be asked. I could write a whole essay on this movie because it just has so much wrong with it. And I think that's going to be how I remember this, if I remember it. So I'm going to give my lowest grade as a critic. I give a D minus. I don't give that other grade because I understand what it takes to make a movie. And this does come from England. It is a little hard to understand the people. I think if I was more in touch with the culture and the movie making process of English people, maybe I might have understood this movie a little bit more or appreciated it a little bit more. But there's just way too much talking. There's way too much not happening. There's just no action. There's no purpose, and it just doesn't have the fluidity that a real movie should have. And so I just don't think it's going to impress anybody. I don't know why it's an actual movie in a DVD case available for people to watch. I just don't think very much of it at all. So a D minus for The Souvenir. Thanks a lot, guys. My name is Danny. If you like this or any of my other videos, try and give some of them a watch. Like and subscribe to my channel if you would. And enjoy movies. Just not this one. Thanks.